You're such an asshole.
Spend less than you make and work for the other guys. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. And good night. All right. Asshole Consulting. How you kids doing? Hi, Aaron. My request is I would like your wisdom on my options to escape being a corporate drone, whether this is through becoming self-employed and working minimal hours or potentially retiring early. Why not both? I know you also hated the corporate bullshit and wanted to escape. The details of my specific situation are below. Here are basic relevant facts about me. I'm male, in my late 20s, single. I make over six figures. I'll kind of keep you anonymous. Male, late 20s, single. Make more than six figures, pre-tax up to 15% bonus potentially. I live in a medium cost of living area and will want to stay around this area due to all the people I care about living here. All right, that's a big piece of the puzzle. Now you know where you want to live. So now we can start looking at not essentially when I say home ownership, let me mean what I'm talking about. Meaning getting your living expenses down to as little as possible. That's what I'm talking about in home ownership. So it doesn't have to be a big home. If it's too big of a home, you're going to pay way more in property taxes. But you want to get out of that. If you know where you want to live, you want to get the hell out of that renting situation as quickly as possible. Or if your parents are kind enough, let you live at home. I work in a STEMI field. You're licensed CPA. Man, we can't escape the accounting questions today. We just cannot escape the accounting questions today. And also have a STEMI field related certification. That sounds fancy, but it's really not. I have an accounting bachelor's and an advanced degree, and I won't say from where. I really try to keep things anonymous. I have about a little over 4 years work experience. Most of that was in public accounting firms in a particular division. I do not have Big Four experience. That doesn't matter, but have worked at 2 of the top 15 firms. I didn't know there was a top 15. I now work in industry as opposed to public accounting in a medium-sized company. My current mandatory monthly expenses are about $2,000 for rent plus utilities. And then I usually spend another $15 to $2,000. Let's just call it $4,000 on top of that for everything else. I could probably get this down to $1,000 a month if I'm stricter. A little conveniences I pay for add up. So $3,000 total spending if I'm strict, $4,000 if I'm looser with spending. I have no debts, including student loans or car loan or mortgage. I have a 20 certain age, certain car, but do not own a home. All right. So your rent utilities is $2,000. Let me do some math real quick. So we go 300. You could afford like a house in the 280 range, probably a little bit more, but you're looking at a house for 280 or a condo to more or less have the same cash flows. So you don't buy a piece of shit that needs constant repairs. No debts. My take-home pay is $5,000 a month. I fully max out my 401k. Wait, is there anything left over? Your take-home is $5,000. You spend $4,000 on everything, but then you contribute $2,000. Oh, take it out pre-tax. I see. I'm sorry. As well as HSA. That means I could invest around $3,000 to $4,000 a month total if you count the 401k contributions. My current assets are as follows: $30,000 in a bank account, 100,000 short-term treasury bills. Good. That's enough. It's enough now. Okay, you have a more than adequate micro FU fund. 95,000 in index funds, taxable brokerage. Oh, in a taxable brokerage. Okay, that's not your 401k. 20,000 IRA, 50,000 401k, 3,000 in an HSA, 1 Bitcoin. This is all pre-tax, 341 total today. I'm aware that the stocks, especially Bitcoin, can fluctuate wildly. They both happen to be up right now, but who knows where they go? I don't know where they go. I have given up smoking cigars, and I'm still the amount of talking I've been doing. I'm increasingly looking for ways to escape the corporate boomer grind. I hate waking up in the morning and needing to be a corporate wagey. It leaves a pit in my stomach. I have no incentives to work hard besides the fear of getting fired. Well, let me talk about that pit in your stomach Everyone's got that. Are you drinking? I don't mean a lot, but just drinking in general, that doesn't help. If you were doing kind of alcohol, somewhere there's a hangover involved, I know it doesn't have anything to deal with philosophy or psychology or career moves or choices, but that would help biologically, neurochemically a bit if you give it up. I'm not even saying giving it up permanently. I'm just saying in the meantime, while you work in a stressful situation, the alcohol probably would not help. I have no incentive to work hard besides the fear of getting fired. You wrote in a book. You wrote the book on men dropping out of society, so I don't need to give details. You get it. Frankly, I try to be as unproductive as I can get away with. I resent contributing value to a corporate and government system that hates me and actively works against me. I truly resent it on principle. Of course, yeah. Why would you like people that hate you? My job is about as good as I can hope for in a corporate environment. I've worked more stressful jobs in the past in public accounting, and what I do now is better, but I still hate how much of a time and mental energy drain it is. All right, let's stop right here. You're a little pampered right now. Okay. Yeah, dude. Business. Yes, jobs suck. Knock it off. And you even admit, I understand your principal philosophy against having whatever 40% of your income taken away through all the various taxes and all that. I get it, man. I get it. All right. And I'm with you there. But you said this job is about as good as it can hope for in a corporate environment. Well, then what are you complaining about? All jobs suck. Go watch my videos. I got a ton of videos on all jobs suck. And all you're doing, I'm going to tell you right now, all you're doing is the mistake I did when I was there is getting pissed off about shit you don't control. I don't like this job. I don't like this job. God, I hate this job. I say, I wonder if that's going to make the job easier or harder. It's going to make it harder. And by no means am I saying, oh, just shut the hell up and work. No, you should absolutely be aiming to get out of corporate environment. It's still not good, but it's about it. All I'm trying to do is save you added stress you don't need. Yes, fine. The job sucks. I've gotten to a Zen level. We'll be driving. Someone will do something stupid on the road. My girlfriend is still at the same. Oh my God. It's like, just shut up. Just shut up. Yeah, I saw it. I saw, we don't have to get worked up about it. All right. Why can't you be calm and relaxed like me? You're the epitome of patience and stoic resolve. Why can't you just relax like me? There's no reason for you to get pissed off more than what you already have to deal with, man. But I still hate how much of a time and mental energy drain it is. Yeah, you wouldn't be paid over six figures if it was easy. I do not want to give more of my life to this than I have to. There is stress both in terms of doing the work as well as office politics. My other big problem is that you can't take a real break. I'd love to work 6 months of the year, then live off those savings the rest of the year, but doing that regularly looks horrible on a resume for future jobs, and there's no guarantee you'll be able to find something good. Right. You got the golden handcuffs, man. You make a great salary. You're actually quite a young man. Yeah, this is the problem. Yeah, that's the drawback. And if you want to work 6 months a year and then live off the rest, go become a tax accountant. Go do what Chad does. Go become self-employed, which we'll get to those as well. I'm just saying, don't give me this cake and eat it too. Don't you be shooting that white girl from the suburb blood in your veins. Come on, I don't like my job. Don't do that to me. Over here. Hang on, I gotta check. Is the internet working today? Okay, thank you, Cox Communication. I don't know why I pay you. Yeah, so you're saying it looks horrible on the resume. If you are doing 6 months out of the year, you're going to be self-employed. That's your choice. So you can either be a W-2 wagee or you could be a 1099 superior racer. And I'm not saying there's right or wrong. I just prefer 1099. That's why I call it the superior race, because we are. I should get a motorcycle patch that just says 1099. I should just get that. And then like maybe we'd see each other like, hey, I know what you're doing over there. Yeah. I've been thinking of several ways I might be able to escape. I'm wondering your thoughts on any of these options or your general advice how I could escape the purgatory of being moderately well paid but stressed out, but escape the purgatory of being a moderately paid but stressed out corporate drone. All right, now let's talk about for everybody. So it's a benefit to people, and we're going to talk about you. This is the same thing as weight loss. How do I lose weight? You either exercise more, you eat less, or both. You need to run a calorie deficit. To escape the corporate wage slave, the job, the daily grind, you spend less or you make money from somewhere else through typically self-employment. The best thing to do, though, is spend less because that is 100% in your control. And you kind of already assessed that at your $3,000. So that's good. There are many books and resources about being a minimalist. There's The Minimalists. That's a website. There is Jacob Lodenfisker's Early Retirement Extreme. I think Mr. Money Mustache also has, I could be wrong on that. There's my course on minimalism that is not open for enrollment. Its sister companion piece, which I have linked below, called Achieving Financial Excellence, is adjacent to it. It's more of a philosophical approach to wealth. But the main point is if you want to be free of an employer, the quickest way to do that is to need the least amount of money possible. And what I would do is go through your spend, say, do I really need a 2-bedroom apartment? No, you don't. Can I live with my folks? Do I need this fancy car? Can I get by with anything and everything, man? Go through it all. And you make a good wage too, and you don't want to take it too far. But for everyone involved, if you want to be free of an employer, the number one thing to do is to need the least amount of money. Then you don't have to work as much. The second thing to do is don't fuck up. Okay. Specifically, don't have kids you can't afford. 90% of the people who are poor in this world are poor because they had too many kids. Fuck you. Eat a bag of dicks. But I already have a kid. Enjoy being poor. What are you telling me for? Enjoy your sucky life. Enjoy fucking up your life and the innocent kid's life. By the way, why don't you have some more kids while you're at it to fuck up some more innocent souls' life? Don't fucking come to me. Another fuck up, don't major in dumb shit. You know my 5 rules? Oh my God, Cappy, I majored in lesbian poetry studies and I can't pay back my student loans. What do? You suffer. You suffer. So there's that. And then, what else? I don't know. They're there. Don't get married if you're a guy. Avoid divorce. They're gonna, simple things. But yeah, you spend less than you make. That's the number one thing. And then you find work that you can do that is the most tolerable. All work takes a bit of a toll. Even this job takes a little bit of a toll. It's nowhere near as much as banking. I'll grant you that. But every job is going to have its drawbacks, no matter how minor or major. Find the ones that pay you enough money that do not have any major drawbacks. And since you are a CPA, as the previous 48 videos I've done this month, you're in a perfect position to just become self-employed, enjoy the 1099 superior race. Other people out there, you got to figure that out, what your skills and aptitudes are. But there are some jobs you could do, like being a truck driver, being security guard at night, where you don't have a lot of interaction with the boss. Those are like, they're not 1099, but they're self-employment adjacent because your boss isn't up your ass the entire time. But it's got to be self-employment of something or another, and that is the way that you can escape the corporate grind. So there, that's universal. Now let's go to your individual situation. Think of several ways of it. 1, moving back with parents for as long as possible, eventually liquidate my investments to buy a house in cash, and then maybe get a roommate to cover most of my expenses, at least for a little bit. I think I might feel a little bit more safe if I sell my investments to get a house, but I know mathematically it's typically better to invest long-term. I like the overall strategy where you're going with here because you're going to save $2,000 a month in rent. Did a video a couple times why the compelling case for living at home. Rent is such a tremendous waste of money now. I understand back in the day when it might have made the 2 apartments ago, I was paying $333 a month for a studio. And then I bought a house 25 years ago. And then 25 years later, rent went up to $1,600 a month. Like, fuck this. I would kindly ask your parents if you could move back with them, start saving up money, and with the logical intention of getting yourself some lodging. I would not liquidate your retirement investments to purchase a home. That would be, you don't want to pay the tax fee, which you're familiar with as a CPA. You don't want to also sacrifice retirement planning. Keep those funds separate. But I think it's a very good idea. Go back home, move in with your folks if they're willing, save a lot of money, and then start looking for housing. And because, like I said, the great thing about your situation, you want to live there, and that's awesome. So you could go build your forever home or buy your forever home or whatever. Your housing options, that's a completely different discussion. But right now, I would look into things. You don't need that much. Maybe a condo. I don't know. It depends on your living situation, but you don't want more house than you need, man. So things like a bachelor hut, maybe even a prefab home. I'm sure there's already a current stock of inventory of homes. There might be one that fits your needs. And then, yeah, I like the idea of renting it out to a buddy. Absolutely. But don't give up $2,000 a month in rent, live with your folks, save money for whatever, a year or two, however long they're willing to take you. And then you go buy a house where the mortgage payment is $4,000 a month. Right? You don't, not more house than you need. And I'd also look into the bachelor hut or some kind of simple, there's other the technology where the prefabricated homes. There's one called Box, something like that, which just assembles. Depends on whether the zoning for it or not. But this is now your second part-time job is for you to go around and evaluate your homeowner options. What kind of housing stock is out there? What could you build? What's available? Maybe take a roommate, come here for a little bit. I think I might feel a little bit more safe if I sell my investments to get a house. Well, yeah, you're just transferring one bit of investments for another bit of investments. And, it depends on your dividend yield and ignoring capital gains. Your cash flow in terms of the amount of rent you save, if you do it right, will likely be a higher rate of return than what your stocks are paying. Because what's the dividend yield nowadays on the S&P 500? Like below 2%, I'm sure. Hang on, let's just look up the dividend yield. Dividend 1.38. Jesus Christ. What a fucking bullshit market. 1.3. Yeah, honestly, I think you get a higher return on interest, but no capital gains. So I like that idea of having a game plan to get into housing that works for you and renting out a room to a buddy. Absolutely. So that's step number one. I'm with you there. Becoming an independent contractor consultant with my current compliance skill set. I think I could probably charge $100 to $120 an hour as an independent contractor. My skill set is in demand job wise, but I don't know if the work would be steady enough where I could pick it up on off as I felt like. My clients would be corporations and advisory firms. My skill set isn't really relevant for individuals. I met some the last job who did the independent contractor out, and he recommended it, but I don't know how stable in demand it is. Look, dude, you could choose. Do you want to be free and have volatile income, or do you want to be a wage slave and be miserable but have a steady paycheck? There's your choices. You say you want to get out of it. Okay. And you're almost like, you're one of the perfect candidates for it. You don't have kids. You don't have family. If you could move in with your folks, absolutely. You don't have that much of expenses. You don't have any debts. You're the perfect candidate. Go strike out on your own. And assuming you don't have a non-compete, which I may have asked, you may have a non-compete, in which case, well, there's a problem. But if you don't have a non-compete, for those of you who don't have non-competes, you could start this up on the side right now. There's nothing wrong with you starting up with this on the side. And if you're worried about, I may not have enough clients. Well, gee, I wonder if there's something else a CPA could do. Taxes and bookkeeping. So yeah, I'd start doing that as well. I didn't get to choose what I wanted to do. Okay. People wanted dance classes. I know it sounds odd. I didn't really choose to do dance classes. I thought it'd just be this fun little hobby thing. And then I had to do finance classes. Why? Because they wanted me to do finance classes. In an ironic sense, I wanted to be an analyst and an economist. No one paid for that, but people were paid for dance classes. You got to do, I wore many hats. And if you're self-employed and you'd like to be out of the corporate grind, you're going to have to wear many hats, although it's all within the realm of accounting. So there's your specialty that you would advise in, which is a great bonus compared to a rank and file CPA. You could do taxes. So every year you got 4 months of probably more employment than you want. You could probably do bookkeeping. But I don't like to do bookkeeping. Do you like sucking corporate dick? What do you like less? Doing bookkeeping or sucking corporate dick? Not that you are delusional, but I'm just pointing it out. You keep giving me your problems and the drawbacks. It's like, yeah, there's no Thomas Sowell, probably the greatest quote ever. Well, second greatest quote. There are no solutions, only trade-offs. There it is. Oh, I'd like to date this 10. She's really hot and has big tits, but she's crazy. Oh, well, there's this 7 who isn't as hot. She doesn't have as big as tits, but she's nice and won't stab me while I sleep. Choices. Which one should I do, Cappy? I don't know. You like sleeping with armor? What do you want? But in your particular situation, yeah, that's a risk of self-employment. And my personal experience has been this. I have always been able to get more money and make more money than work on a per hour basis anyway, than being employed by another person because they are slow, stupid, and dumb and do not capitalize on things. And I need their permission to make money. If I see an opportunity and I'm under someone's employment, I can't make that money in the like, hey, we could do this. Like, well, you're not the manager. Well, fire that asshole and make me the manager then. So you're much more nimble. You can be quick. There's no meetings. Oh my God. I decided I write a book, but there's no meeting. I don't say, can I have permission to write a book? I want control over it. No, there's not. I declare today I'm going to write a book. Today I'm going to do a video. Today I'm going to scratch my balls. And that speed and quick decision, that usually makes it more efficient that you'll make more money on a per hour basis. You could also diversify your income, as I pointed out, because I have diversified income. What was the other thing? There was some other. I was just because you're employed by a corporation doesn't mean you're stable employment. I have never felt so financially stable than when I worked for myself. I was shocked. It was the opposite because I was always worried about getting fired because I want to approve some dipshit thieving asshole's loan. Corporate America. It was always, well, we don't like this, what you said. We don't like the numbers. Change reality, which is an impossible situation to be in. And it was always like, oh, this can't. And I was like, I can't work here. I got to go somewhere else. And the next place would be even worse than the previous place. I never knew where my money was. This could be gone in another month. Working for myself, I don't lose sleep at all at night because I'm not going to fuck myself over. I'm also not a fucking idiot. Because, you're awfully arrogant. No, banks are just that stupid. But so is all of corporate America. And if the other thing is corporate America, employers are so slow and dumb. They're conformists. They're not opportunists. As a self-employed individual, you're going to see other opportunities to make money, and you can decide that day to do it. Oh, I'm going to offer this service. I'm going to do that. Asshole Consulting, I had the idea, and overnight, remember, I was working a security shift, and I programmed it on my laptop, and it was done in a day, and here we are. I didn't have to talk to Herman, NBA boomer extraordinaire, to get his dick out of his mouth, say, hey, can I start this? No, I just did it. So I wouldn't worry about that. And if you could charge $100 to $120 an hour, you don't need that many hours. You can work 20 hours a week. It'd be fine. And then you got a buddy who did the same thing. He recommends it. What, he doesn't have surplus work he can't toss to you? It's possible to be a good idea, but I fear it could be a bad move career-wise if I quit my current job and it's not as in demand as I thought. I almost did this prior to leaving my last job, but found my current job before fully taking the plunge. Well, this is also why you never sign a non-compete. Like, no, I have a side gig. I will be working on it. It will not affect the work here, but you're not going to tell me what to do with my free time. I mean, if there's a conflict of interest where I'm bidding against contracts you're bidding on, I won't do that. I understand that, but this, you better work for us and nobody, get the fuck out of here. I'm not sure if I have enough time with my current job responsibilities to do it on the side concurrently. Who knows if this would be any less stressful? You don't have look, if you have the opportunity, you didn't sign a non-compete, you should be doing it. Don't give me the, but if I eat my cake, then I won't have it. But if I have my cake, then I can't eat it. Aaron, what do I do? Both. Go watch my video, both. I have a couple videos about both. I'm not saying you got to work 25 hours a week on your thing, but why can't you get one client? If you don't have a non-compete, first thing you should be doing today, setting up an LLC or S-Corp owned LLC. Talk to Chad. Well, you know what it is. Your CPA. Never mind. You set up the corporate legal structure you want, get a little bit of a website, and just you get one client. Okay, cool. There you go. That infrastructure is done. Now you have a client. You got a little bit of scratch on the side. And see, there's a pond over there. Should I take the time to cast a line in that pond to see if any fish are biting? No, absolutely not. Stay in the fucking sewer you're fishing in now at corporate America. Whatever you do, don't take the day to toss one line into that pond and see if there's money to be made. Christ, no. That'd be like a girl going on a date with a guy to figure him out first before judging. I don't want that. But if there's a way for you, so step one, start looking at move with folks, start looking at housing. Step 2, yes, diversify your income. Start looking into the prospects of being self-employed. You could poke around, you can ask your buddy, hey, is there anyone looking for clients in my field? I know there's people looking for tax accountants right now. Take it a step 3, take it a step back career-wise and figure out how I can learn tax preparation skills so I can eventually start my own practice. I have a CPA already, so that part is taken care of, but I don't know anything about preparing taxes. I'm going to book Chad Elkins for more info on specifics, but if this is something that can be done without too many years grinding before I can start charging $150 an hour, I'm considering it. I might move back with my parents if this is the case. I think it'd be if your parents are within driving distance of your work, I move back to your parents anyway just to save $2,000 a month. And say, Mom, Dad, you want to make $500 a month? I'll tell you, make it a deal for them. I might move back with my parents, but I could also live off my savings for a while until the money I can make goes back up. I'd love to be able to get away with working minimum hours per week most of the time. I know you've talked about this before. Okay, again, if you don't have a non-compete, why don't you just go work at H&R Block this tax season right now, 1 day a week? Seriously, why don't you go do that? You want tax experience, you want to do that. I agree with you. What's it going to cost you to go do H&R Block for 1 day? They'd love to have you a CPA. Naturally, you'd have to take some training and all that, but you get your experience of preparing taxes there. I'd imagine it'd be coming very easily to you. You're going to have to do both. You're going to have to do both, but I would not. You never give up your job if you can do both. But if you got a non-compete agreement, you got enough money, you can live with your folks, and like, okay, yeah, I'm see you, bye. Go work your $20 an hour at H&R Block. You got enough cash, you could last a while. I think after one season, even this half season, if you had one season doing it, you could start doing it on your own. Yeah, and there you go. But that's another seed you can plant. I'm with you there. Love to be able to get away with working minimum hours per week most of the time. I know you've talked about that before. So far you've told me 3 things that are not mutually exclusive. You could do all 3 of these things to varying levels. Keep working the corporate wagey job. I'm going to make sure take steps. Yeah. Keep working the corporate wagey job. Try to save and invest as much as possible, hoping and pray I can retire at 45 or maybe even 40 if the market cooperates, if I don't get laid off for any extended period. If you have any guidance on the specific numbers you think I'd need, please let me know. I wouldn't, dude, You're single. You don't have kids. You don't have that many expenses. You have a significant amount of savings saved up. You have an incredible skill. You have 2 outs for self-employment in terms of tax prep, if you get a little bit of training, and your current specialty that you advise in. And then I'd say a third one in bookkeeping. Pull the fucking trigger already. And if you're worried about saving money, dude, if you can bill out at $100 to $120 an hour, that's what, $200,000 a year? You're going to make way more money working for yourself than you will at this corporate wage slave job. And yes, you do make 6 figures. That's fine. Would you like to make 200 and be your own boss and no more meetings or Karens or bullshit? That it could happen. It's going to take 2 or 3 years, but you'll get to your retirement number way sooner than 45. But I would keep your job in the meantime. Don't give it up until you got a couple other life rafts established. You've talked about a lot of men dropping out of society. You talked a lot about men dropping out of society and not working. I don't know how this is possible, since once I run out of money, I'd be homeless. But if you know any other way I could do this, I'm all ears. Well, yeah, you go live with your parents, and you have to be a parasite. In some way, you say, how do people live without working? They're a parasite. That's a fact. They have to get money from somewhere else. And usually it's a combination of the parents and the taxpayer or nonprofits. So I don't know how extreme you want to go, but you could literally live in a tent if you're in a nice area, like warmth, I mean. Go to the food shelf. There's some, go read Early Retirement Extreme. A lot of these guys will go to a food shelf. Why would you spend money on groceries when you could just go to the food shelf? All right. I know some guys, they do not own cars, and they live in a commune, like a commune, and they take the bike or they'll take the bus. A lot of them work from home too, if they have a job. But that's how I'm sorry, those guys have jobs. But yeah, you're just going to be poor your entire life. And then when your parents die and the house is reversed mortgage, yeah, then you'll starve and you won't be healthy, and it'll be a miserable existence. But that's how people do it. I mean, there's homeless people, there's panhandlers, there's Democrats, right? I mean, what you could do is if you were a pretty girl with big tits, you could just flash your tits on the internet and make some money. That's it too. Oh, wait, you're not a pretty girl with big tits. I'm sorry, sir. You're going to either suffer or work. I don't know, but if you know any other way I could do this, I'm all ears. No, come on. You're CPA, debits, credits. You know how what? You think there's a way that money just comes out of the sky and you don't have to work? If you need more, and look, by the way, I'm not against, like, depends on how extreme you want to go with that minimalism stuff. You don't have to pay for food if you don't want to. Go to a food shelf. You'll save money. What I think you're completely underestimating yourself and your ability to make money on the side and being self-employed. We're talking at max a year transition of you getting some slightly different tools and skill sets and a little bit of experience and doing a little bit of marketing, setting up a website. But a year goes by, I think you'll be making more. Certainly after 2 years, you'd be making more than what you are now. Now, you don't get health insurance. You have to pay for that yourself. But I like all your ideas because none of them are mutually exclusive. Keep working your current job. Go work for H&R Block 1 day a week on weekends or whatever. If you need any more information, set up a little website. And I said to you, I need to know, however, can you set up a practice on the side while you're working, or do you have some kind of non-compete agreement? You won't work outside while currently employed. And then just to verify, you want to live in the area that you're in. But to answer your questions, I have no non-compete agreement with my current employer. I want to live around the area my parents are. Okay, so they're too far away for you to keep working your current job. I would want to be a reasonable driving distance from them. Yeah, I get it. So if you're going to go live with your folks, you're going to have to give up your income, which I would advise against that. Unless they got an H&R Block thing and you're willing to cut the cord 100% and just, eat some ramen for a while. Thanks, please let me know. Yeah, if you got if that non-compete, the fact that you don't have one, boom, man. Absolutely. Go get a website right now. Go to the Secretary of State, fill out the paperwork, set up your LLC or whatever kind of entity you want to set up. Start offering, as long as you don't compete against your employer, which would be unethical. You wouldn't want to do that. Start setting up the little bit of side. Talk to your buddies like, hey, you got any clients? Have a decent website put together so they have a landing page. Oh, look, this guy's a little bit professional. He's got his thing together. Get a bank account, get a PayPal thing, bada boom, bada bing. And you got one ship now to start making money on the side. I'd also go see if H&R Block is looking for people at the local strip mall or whatever it is. Don't volunteer. Say you need someone once a week. Oh, you're a CPA. Come on in. Like, okay, I need a little bit of training. You get your tax experience now. You keep working the job. It's going to take a little bit of a work and hustle and go. But once you start building up your clients, once all of a sudden, oh, hey, this client, he needs like 20 hours a week. Whoa, is he willing to pay? You get one of those clients. You willing to pay $100 an hour? He is. You're done, man. 20 hours a week, $100 an hour, $100,000 right there. You go to your boss, say, here's my 2 weeks notice. Thank you very much. I'm going to strike out on my own. You got a little bit of extra work, send it my way. And then at that point in time, when you don't need your main current employer, then I'd be looking to go back to your folks like, hey, here's my game plan. All right. I got self-employment, all that. I'm cutting my expenses. Going to come back, live with you guys if that's all right. Save my money. I'm going to go look for a house while I build my company beyond that. But that's what I would be doing. And if there's a candidate, it'd be you. I don't, the only thing you could say though, well, I am also a certified master car mechanic. Well, then you offer auto services with your CPA firm on top of it. But you're the prime demographic for self-employment. All right, let's go to the super chats. SJ, 2 Canadian, thought on FIRE. Yeah, what is FIRE? What does that stand for? God, it is the Jacob Lundfisker platform. Yes. Minimalism with FIRE plausible. Yes, I agree with it because the math bears out. What the hell does FIRE stand for? So, financially independent, retire early? Is that what it is? It's just minimalism with a code, with some formulas. Yes, do it. Nonstop trade, $2. Not everyone can live in a small birdhouse like you. Yeah, there's benefits to me being small. I don't live in a birdhouse. Remember, I live in the Shire, like hobbits. I have my little hobbit berm that I live in. Trusty Rusty, $5. My 2.5% mortgage is $1,300 a month. New apartments by me start at $2,200. People I work with have huge mortgages or rent payments. Yeah, it sucks to be them, doesn't it? They should have saved their money and paid off their mortgage early. But they needed a new car, bro, and European vacations. And daddy's little princess just couldn't go to the community college. No, she needed to go. So he had to sign off on her student loans. Nonstop trade, $2. Cappy Solar Dollar, knee pads for TradCon men, easy 7 figs. The TradCon men could, yes, with lube. Nonstop trade, $2. Diamond balls in a cage for TradCon's wife, easy 8 figs. It's one of those things you don't have to argue with them or even debate. I like most of the trad folk, generally speaking. But when we have a disagreement, the first question is, do I even have to argue? Is reality going to prove I'm wrong? I don't argue with single moms about the drawbacks of single motherhood. I just let life kick the ever-living shit out of them and their kids. And then I'm like, I go to the kids because the kids might say, hey, do you want to repeat this? Or would you like not to be poor or raise your children in poverty? Just wondering, well, here's some books. Don't major in that. Choose that. Spend less than you make. And here, sit down, okay? Are you ready for this one? Choose your spouse wisely and don't have more kids than you can afford. Oh, my God, he's a genius. Holy shit, the wisdom of the short man from Minnesota. Kevin C, $2. Smiley face and thumbs up. Thanks, Kevin. Tamir Sneer. Hey, Tamir. $10. Boxable. Thank you. A prefabricated nice home. Elon Musk owns one. Okay, there you go. Yes. Thank you, Tamar. And congratulations, by the way, on the, you're doing tax season, I bet, right now. That's great. All right, there you guys go. Questions, answers, Asshole Consulting. Link below. What the fuck do I got linked below? Bachelor Economics. Oh, yes. For those of you interested in more researching resources, link below is Bachelor Economics, the financial advice Bible for men. It goes through all your financial decisions you need to make in your life. And it's for women too, but I wrote it for men because men listen. That's not a joke. It's actually true. The other one, if you don't like books, is I have a course out there called Achieving Financial Excellence. And that is the very first go-to step if you want to get serious about retirement, personal finances, and all that. Take that course first before you read any books, before you sign up for any other courses. Take that one first so you know why the fuck you're retiring and saving for money. Because if you don't know why you're saving money, I can buy shit. Just don't even bother then. Doesn't matter what a 401k or an IRA is. You're doing it for the wrong reasons and you're going to fuck it up. So make sure you don't fuck it up. Figure out what the point and purpose of money is. Achieving Financial Excellence. It's linked below. You can find it on Teachable. And that's it. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.